Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about adding by 1 and adding by 10 using the 100 chart. And we're going to talk about how we can move on the 100 chart to add by those different numbers. So the first problem I have for us to look at is 23 plus 5. Right up here, 23 plus 5 equals something. And when we solve a problem like this, the first thing we want to do is we want to figure out which number we're going to start at. And on this problem, I'm going to start with 23, and I'm going to add the 5 to it. So if I start with 23 and add the 5, I first want to find 23 on my 100 chart. And if you look right here, I have found the number 23 right there. It's in the blue square on our 100 chart. And since I'm adding by ones, I'm going to move this way on my 100 chart. So when I add by ones, I'm going to move across the row. So rows go from left to right. So when I'm adding by 1, I'll go across the rows. And I'm going to add 5 more to my 23. So I start at 23 and I'm going to make 5 jumps. And you'll see I have arrows showing the jumps until I get to my last jump where I have a circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I land on 28. So 23 plus 5 is 28. And we can see that by looking at our 100 chart and looking at where our arrows are moving across the rows. So again, when we're adding by ones, we're going to move across the rows. Let's look at adding by 10. All right, so this problem over here says 23 plus 30. So again, I'm going to start at 23, which you'll see in my blue box right there. I'm starting at 23. Now, when I'm adding by tens or making jumps of 10, I'm going to move down the column. So columns go from the top to the bottom. And when we learned about patterns on the 100 chart, we learned how when we move that in that direction on the 100 chart, going down the 100 chart, we're skip counting by tens. So I'm going to find my 23, which I did, and then I'm going to look here and it says I need to make 30 jumps. When you think about that, boys and girls, I want you to think, how many tens are there in 30? That's right, there are 3 tens in 30. So I'm going to make 3 jumps because each jump I make, I'm moving up 10. So I'm going to start at 23. I'm going to make a jump. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to land on the number 53. All right. So now that we've seen how to add by 1, so remember when we add by 1, we move which direction? That's right. We move across the chart. And when we're adding by 10, which direction do we move? That's right. We move down the columns. Okay. We're going to solve some problems together now. All right. So look over here in my pink square, and this is the problem we're going to start with. It says 74 plus 20. Okay. What number am I going to start at? Excellent. Did you say 74? That's right. So I'm going to put my square around 74 because I'm going to start, at 74. Now, which way am I going to move on the 100 chart? Am I adding by ones and going to move across the row? Or am I adding by tens and going to move down the columns? Which way am I going to move? That's right. I'm going to move down the columns. And how many jumps will I make? We're adding tens. So how many tens are there in 20? Excellent. There's 2. Okay. So I'm going to make 2 jumps down the column. There's 1 jump. And there's 2 jumps. What number did I land on? That's right. Excellent. I landed on 94. So the answer to this problem is 94. All right. Let's look at another one. All right. Now I have 6 plus 43. All right. Which number do you think I'm going to start at? Look at that problem. Which number am I going to start at? Did you say 43? That's right. I'm going to start at 43 and I'm going to add 6 to it. So now I want to know, am I going to move across the row or am I going to move down the columns? Which way am I going to move? Right, I'm going to move across the rows because I'm adding by 1. And I'm going to move 6 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I move 6 jumps, I land on 49. So the answer to my problem is 49. All right, let's look at another one together. Okay, this one's a little bit trickier. What number will I start at? Good job. I will start at 27. And am I going to move across the row or down the column? What am I adding by? That's right. I'm going to make jumps down the column because I'm adding by 10. All right. How many tens am I adding? I'm adding the number 50. How many tens are in 50? Yes, there are 5 tens. So let's make 5 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What number did I land on? That's right. I landed on 77. So that's my answer. All right, let's do one more together. All right, look at my problem. 30 plus 35. What number will I start at? Yes, I will start at 35. All right. Am I going to jump across the row or down the column? Am I adding by 1 or am I adding by 10? Right, I'm going to move down the column. I'm going to make jumps down the column because I'm adding 30. How many jumps will I make? Remember, think how many 10s are in 30? That's right. I'm going to make 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. So, what is 35 plus 30? That's right, it's 65. All right. Now you try on your own. Use the 100 chart to solve the rest of the problems in your choice board.